Worst timing ever. Okay, so let's do this again. Worst timing. I have to run off to my company party in 30 minutes and I haven't dressed yet. But let's get into it. I'm gonna try to not get too stressed out by the fact that this failed. So, again, it's time for the evaluation, the second evaluation, because the first live stream obviously failed miserably. It's time for the weekly evaluation of the rejection therapy week number 8. I'm gonna tell you my 4 main conclusions from doing this weekly challenge. Boy, did I lose the red thread already. Keep it together, Alex. Keep it together. So, firstly, what have we been doing? For you who are new to this, let me just tell you very briefly. Rejection therapy means that we go out and ask random people or specific people a question or a request that we have designed in order to get a rejection, to get a no. It doesn't have to play out that way, but the idea is that it should push the limit a little bit, so it's a high likelihood of us getting rejected. Why do we do that? Well, for 2 reasons. Firstly, we want to get used to getting rejected. It helps us throughout life if we can just lower this fear of going after the things that really serves us, but we hinder ourselves because we're just too convenient. We don't want to push ourselves to that situation when we feel awful, because it's just a state where we're not comfortable. But if we're able to lower this threshold, if we're able to constantly go after the things that we want, it will make us progress faster in life. It will make us go in the direction we want to, because we're doing the things we want to. And that also is why it has a second purpose, and that is to build self-esteem, which this channel is all about. If we do the things that we really want to, it makes us grow self-esteem. For every time you take an action in a direction that aligns with your values, beliefs, or goals, you are increasing your self-esteem. And that is super important, and is something that just makes life great. I'm telling you, I've been focusing on building self-esteem since 13 or 14 weeks back now, and my life is just totally changed. And there are some rules to doing these rejection therapy challenges. Firstly, you're not allowed to lie. If you're lying, you're decreasing your self-esteem. You're telling yourself that you are a liar, because self-esteem is the you know what I'm saying, the reputation you acquire with yourself, and you don't want to tell yourself that you are a liar. It will decrease your self-esteem. Secondly, you have to do things, you have to play out these challenges in a way that makes you be honest with what you're doing. You're not allowed to lie in any way. If you're lying to get what you want, then you're decreasing your self-esteem. You don't want to lie. You're not allowed to lie. So, let's just go through the week very briefly, and I'm going to share my 4 conclusions from the 8th week of rejection therapy. First off, the major conclusion is that your energy level is so, it will for sure, what's the word I'm looking for? It will be, I'm losing it. Why did I fail my first goddamn live stream? Keep it together. The energy level, how you treat your body. If you're sleep deprived, if you're hungry, if you're just exhausted after a long work day, these challenges won't go well. They will make you not being able to put your ideal self out there. They're gonna... Sorry, I'm losing it. You're not gonna be able to put your true self out there. You're not gonna be able to have this good body language. You're not gonna be able to talk with assertiveness and conviction. You're not gonna enjoy the process of doing what you're doing because you're lacking too much of a life energy. And that is something I experienced when I did my first challenge, the challenge I actually haven't posted yet, where I went out with the quest to interview people what their greatest fears are in life. And I wasn't in a good place when I did that, and I was not able to carry myself up. I wasn't able to talk myself into the good mood. I let myself fall into this negative spiral of the constant stories we tell ourselves. Because when we're weak, all these negative stories pop up. Well, that is happening all the time, but when we're in a good energy state, we're able to have this defense, the guard, to put those thoughts away. But when we're weak, when we're sleep deprived, it just flows over you and you're not able to protect yourself. And that will not play out well. And it will anchor these emotions to the experience of doing these challenges. And that results in you not want to go back and do these things again. We want to enjoy the process of doing rejection therapy. That's when it becomes a sustainable, long-lasting thing. That's when we can go back to it over and over again. Because the second conclusion, so the first conclusion is that you need to sleep well, you need to eat well, you need to look after yourself. Otherwise, it will go down the shitter. And it brings us to the second conclusion, which is that it's all about volume. Again, I talked about this in the week 7 evaluation as well. You shouldn't aim for these huge, big projects like the one I did here. I spent 3 hours trying to hunt down people to interview. That was fun. That absolutely is developing the skills I want to acquire in some sense. But for you starting out or just wanting to do something easy with the high payoff, then you should stay away from these big projects. Instead, prove to yourself that you can do this by only investing 5 minutes of your time. A perfect example of this is from yesterday, where I had been working all day long, a 14-15 hour workday. When I came to the train station, it was 10:30, and I just felt like I have to do something. I had to prove to myself that I can invest 5 minutes and still get a great result out of that. So I sat down and I thought about, hey, what can I do? Well, I did some challenge a couple of days ago where I actually asked for feedback on my handshake. Why don't I step it up? Why don't I approach some girls and ask if I can get a hug and get some feedback on that hug? And from the moment I came up with that idea to where that actually played out and happened, as you can see in the video I posted yesterday, it only took 5 minutes. And still, the result, the outcome of that little effort, huge. That was my absolute top moment of that day, if not the entire week. And it took so little time. So my conclusion, what I'm trying to convince you to understand, is that this is super easy. There are no real excuses for not doing this. That's not true. It's not super easy. You do have to push yourself, but it doesn't require that much time. You can't use that as an excuse for not doing this. And the payoff, I'm still living out of that moment. It was just a hug with 2 random girls, but it was just, I proved to myself that I can do it. I built my self-esteem because I want to interact more with people and with girls. So I set up a goal and I achieved that goal. It made me feel great. I leveled up in self-esteem, and it was one of my greatest moments of the week. And that brings me to the third conclusion of this week, which is that I've started to I've lowered the barrier to do these rejection therapy challenges. I'm not seeing them as a big project. I've started to have a mindset throughout my work day that I'm doing rejection therapy with the small task I have to do in context to my work. Say I work in an office space, but maybe if you're in school or whatever you are, start to see the things you have to do like small little challenges. This is your play field. You have to go to talk to that person. Maybe for me, I'm doing a lot of 3D modeling, so when I'm running into problems, when I don't know how to do a specific thing, a lot of times I just drag it out. I just sit and maybe I pull my hair and just get crazy on this small little thing. But if I instead just walk up to a person straight away and ask for help, that is a kind of rejection therapy challenge, because you can get rejected. Maybe they don't know how to do it. Maybe they don't want to do it. But if you push yourself to do that little challenge, it can make you be much more effective throughout your workday, make you grow as a person, develop your social skills and goal attainment. But the conclusion, the reflection, the learning is that if you start to see your day, your work day, your school day or whatever as a fun little game, it adds excitement, it becomes more fun, and it's easier to do it if it is a little mission. It's more fun to go after it. It's a little challenge. We like challenges. It will help you grow. And that will bring me to the fourth conclusion of this week. And that is that practice, like what I'm doing here. I mean, this is the 8th week of doing rejection therapy. It is resulting in some true growth. I'm still far from being done with this. I actually got a comment this morning on my video where I shook hands with random people and asked for feedback. He told me, I think his name was Zach, that I know how to approach people. I don't need to do that anymore. I can go on work on my pickup skills. But the thing is, I want to reach my goal of being able to talk to anybody, anywhere, and doing it in a manner that is just amazing. I want to enjoy every conversation I have with the random people. I want to be able to connect with these people everywhere. And by practicing more and more, I can get more used to that. Because, especially the video he commented on, I still didn't feel that confident. I felt confident, but I still was a bit nervous. I actually had the video camera with me and asked if I can record them with the camera. But I managed to really totally screw that up. I didn't directed the microphone the right way because I wasn't thinking about the recording. I was so focused, or a bit too nervous still, to being able to do two things at once. So the video and audio, I blew that on that video. And what I'm saying is, I'm still practicing these skills, but I am experiencing a tremendous growth, and it is just great. Life becomes more and more fun every day. It is so quantifiable. It's not small, subtle changes. Well, of course it is. I've been doing this for 8 weeks, but I can really make out the difference, and I truly love it. And that is the last thing I am going to say about this week's challenge. It has been great. It really has. I will actually mention the 2 worst and best moment, the perfect avocado moment and the rotten avocado moment of the week. First, the rotten avocado. Whoa, I can't point the finger like. The rotten avocado moment of the week was when I was doing my first video, when I was walking around for 3 hours trying to find people to interview for their greatest fear in life. And I felt like shit because I was in a bad state. I had bought into the stories I was telling myself. I didn't dare to approach anyone. I was just walking around and felt worse and worse, and it just brought me to a place where I did not feel good at all. But then I managed to push through, and I got to the perfect avocado moment. I approached finally, after just standing for 10 minutes looking at her. She was sitting on her own. I haven't posted this video yet. It will come out tomorrow. I approached this woman sitting on her own on a bench, and we started to have a conversation about her greatest fears and how she was thinking about her life. And I actually caught her in a perfect moment, perfect, but she was so deep into these thoughts, like what she was going to do with her life, and she said she was going to quit her job and so on. We just had a very nice deep conversation. I felt we were really connected, but above all I felt that I contributed with something to her. I felt that I gave her some reflections that made her think about how to approach her life. Maybe I'm exaggerating this, maybe she didn't feel that at all, but that's the feeling I got out of that moment, that I did something for her and I got something out of it too, and it was just a great moment, and that really made my day, my week. Of course, the hugging yesterday with the two girls was also awesome. But that was this evaluation. I had to do this twice, and I am running late to my office party now, so I do have to shut this down very quickly. I hope you have enjoyed these videos I've been posting this week. I really like to share these experiences with you, and I love when you're commenting and giving me feedback, or just dropping some kind of comment. It means a whole lot to me, and it motivates me to do this even more, because I do want to help you do this as well. With those words, I'm gonna wish you a lovely weekend. As I've said, I'm usually doing a weekly evaluation, a weekly review after this evaluation as well. That means going through my week, you going through your week. I sit on my own and you sit on your own. Just look back at what has happened, going through my journal, reflecting, see how the goal attainment has been going. How are you working towards your goals? What actions have you been taking that made you progress towards your goals? But also tweaking how you're going about your week, planning out the next week. I do that every week, a live session here, and I urge you to do the same. I am going to do that tomorrow because it has to happen once a week. You can do whatever you want, but I have this live stream because if you'd like to join that, join in. It's super fun, I was about to say, but it's super clarifying. It brings you to a point of grounding yourself. You're ready for a new week, and it just feels awesome. But so, with those words, I'm gonna thank you for watching this video. My name is Alexander Nilsson. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if you like what I'm doing and if you want more of this. Whew! Sorry for being a bit stressed out here. Did lose my red thread a little bit here sometimes. But hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm working to get there. So, bye guys. Bye 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 bye. Bye bye bye. Just gonna see if I'm still living. Yeah. We don't have any comments. Well, enough said. Bye bye.